My people, 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 I'm back. The children of Lucifer had one of their aims trying to obstruct my video with this, with what you call, what do you call it there? One of those weed whacker thing. So I had to get out of their way to ensure that I am not in the path of Lucifer's children. Sometimes all you have to do is just move. You understand? Move out of their path. And that is just sufficient for you to get out of their way. Right? People in the background, you're hearing the man Age and his big song, Prayer. Today, if you're going to hang with me for the next couple of minutes, I want you to share this video. I want you to share this video with a friend and tag someone when you share it. Today we are going to deal with the things of the Most High. Nothing else but the things of the Most High. Right, I'm asking here, I'm inviting a few people to watch this video. To all the things we done wrong. Tell them, Age, tell them. Ha ha ha. Pray that the Most High continue to show us mercy. Now people, today, if you are going to spend the next couple of minutes with me, this is what I want you to do. I want you to share this video. And I want you to tag someone in this video when you share it. As you realize that today, we're going to only speak about the things of the Most High. Nothing else. But the things that pertain it to the great and sovereign God, the creator of heaven and earth. Right? Nothing else. Nothing else today. And people, today I have a special message to bring to you. It was titled, What the Caucasians, the Edomites, the humans have been, what were their main exports? But in researching this topic, I came about some very important information. Information that you need to know in this crisis where the governments of the Caribbean are forcing their citizens to be vaccinated. These are information that you need to know, that most people don't know about. And it is strange that but the Most High have brought me into a confrontation with these information. And the message that I was supposed to bring today, I will bring it to you on Saturday. But today, we have a special message. And it's coming from the Most High. I don't have a title for this message. Right? Now, let us start with the scripture reading. Deuteronomy 28, 49 and 50 will be our scripture reading today. The Lord shall bring a nation against you from far, from the ends of the earth, is swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. People, as I told you before, the scripture reading is coming from Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is Moses' dying declaration to the Israelites. And a dying declaration is that declaration that you make just before you die. And it carries a lot of value, because we know people in their dying state normally make declaration that will ease and free their consciences to ensure that their soul are prepared for eternity. So when Moses was given this information to the Israelites just before he died, he was ensuring that he was carrying out the Most High's will for his people. Now, people, today I wanted to talk about the export of the Edomites. And we know the Edomites are the Caucasians, because from many studies we have covered where Esau was the first Edomite. Isaac, Esau's father, description of Esau says that Esau was a Caucasian. The Most High also said that in his words that he will hate Esau and the Edomites forever. He called them the border of wickedness. We also realize the Encyclopedia Britannica, under the topic Jerusalem, subtopic Roman rules, declare that Roman King Herod was an Edomite. So therefore, we have to conclude that the Edomites are the Caucasians. And the Most High said in his scriptures that he will hate the Edomites forever. Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Go and read it for yourself and ensure that I'm not speaking foolishness. But people, when I was researching this message, I came upon some information that I must bring to you in this message that I wanted to so I'm going to bring it to you as the first export of the Edomite all over the world. People, all over the world, you turn, not necessarily in the European countries, but in the third world countries and in the United States of America, where they have a high concentration of black people. Everywhere you turn, you can find a Planned Parenthood. As the name suggests, Planned Parenthood, it suggests that they are an organization that help people to plan their family. And that is the moniker that they go by. But what you have to remember is that the creation of Planned Parenthood was done for a racist objective, a racist means, a racist end. The founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, was a racist. She was one who affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan. She was one who believed in eugenetics, which is ensuring that productivity, the ability to make children, were reserved only for those people who can contribute to the community. That means black people were not able and were not contributing to the community. So we see here, Planned Parenthood was an organization that is racist in its base and was designed to ensure that it diminished the black community. Because even though in the United States, the black community, the white community has always been 8 times larger than the black community, they always thought that the black community was too large, the black community was too big, and it was their effort to ensure that the black community become reduced. And those stages of the United States of America history, the black community was only 18%. Today, it is down to 13%. So we see they have been successful in dwindling, in reducing the number of live births that occurs within the black community. And this is because of Planned Parenthood. Now, what you don't realize, all of you who celebrate and use the service of Planned Parenthood, it was designed to do exactly opposite to the promise that the Most High gave to his servant Abraham, to make Abraham's seeds as numbered as much as the sand of the seashore. The Most High said in Genesis chapter 15, Abraham, if you can number the sand of the sea, that is how much I am going to make your children. If you can number the stars in the sky, that is how much I'm going to number your children. So here we see Margaret Sanger, in her effort and her invention of Planned Parenthood, had one objective, and that was to the reduction of the black community in the United States and around the world. And how they were going to accomplish that? By pushing abortion. By pushing abortion. People, in my research for this lesson today, I discovered that in 1927, the United States Supreme Court made a law in the ruling against Buck against Bell, where the United States Supreme Court gave to states in the United States the right to sterilize any member of their community who they deem unfit, and they don't have to get permission from those members of the community, and they don't even have to let them know that they were sterilized. People, that means every state in the United States, it is law that the state could select people who they deem to be unfit, and they can sterilize them without their permission and without their knowledge. They can sterilize them without their permission and without their knowledge. And people, for many years, this has been practiced in the United States of this great America, where states have been going about and sterilizing members of their community, basically black people, because in their mind, the black community was too large. The white community was 8 times bigger than the black community, yet the black community was too large. And they wanted to dwindle the black community, and in doing so, they passed laws that give the states permission to make people sterile without their permission, without their knowledge. In North Carolina, thousands of people, black people, were sterilized without their knowledge, without their permission. The youngest person that was deemed to be sterilized in North Carolina was 10 years old. That means they took away these people's ability to have children without their knowledge, without their permission. People, it is the Edomites' desire, it is the Edomites' will to make the Most High a liar. And they will do it at all costs. And that is why they have been busy exporting Planned Parenthood all over the globe to ensure that the Most High will, that the Most High word never come to fruition. Do you think that the Edomites love anyone? Do you think that the human love anyone? Do you think that the Caucasians love anyone but themselves? Especially not the blacks. Especially not the blacks. The Most High says in Deuteronomy 28:50, a nation with fierce countenance, who shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. That is why they were busy in North Carolina and many other states sterilizing the black community without their consent, without their permission. They don't love anyone but themselves. They want this whole earth for themselves. It will never happen. This is my Father's world, and He will never give any one who are not from this earth the privilege of taking it over and getting rid of His people. Yeah, people, is there any reason that the government in small islands has been pushing so hard, even trying to make it mandatory that their citizens become vaccinated with a vaccine that is on trial, with a vaccine that is untested, with a vaccine where every day new findings are coming up that show that this thing is a potent weapon? Is it any wonder that our governments are being pressured to ensure that at least 80% of our population become vaccinated? What are the Edomites' objective in pushing this vaccine so hard and so long? What are the Edomites' objective? What are they hoping to accomplish? People, I cannot tell you what to do. You love pleasure more than you love God? Take the vaccine. You want life to get back to normal? Tell me what is normal about you waking up in the morning, going and lock yourself in a building for 8, 9 or 12 hours in a day. Come out when it's night. Go home, sleep, wake up, prepare to go and lock yourself in a building that you call work for another 8, 9 or 10 hours a day. What is normal about that? Nothing is normal about that. So you want your life to go back to normal? So you're going to take the job to get a job. Take a job so you can go back to a cycle of spending 8 or 9 hours locked down in a building. Say you're working and life are just slipping by and you are not enjoying life. People, the Edomites don't love you. The Edomites don't love me. The Edomites hates everyone, including their own. You understand? They hate everyone, including their own. Especially, they hate the Israelites. They hate the Israelites with a passion that we will never be able to understand. People, they don't need, they have already gotten the authority from the American to the United States Supreme Court to sterilize anyone in this community, in this country, they see unfit. This permission came in the ruling of the Supreme Court in 1927, Buck versus Bell, in North Carolina and other states in the United States. In 1945 and onward, even to 1944, they were engaged in a sterilization program where they make black men and black women sterile, unable to produce. They give them, those survivors, they give them $50,000 for their trouble. They didn't have to because it was the law of the land. The $50,000 was so everyone could go back and pretend that it didn't happen. We get money so we're happy. But the law is still there that gives states in the United States the authority and the permission to sterilize anyone they see unfit. That is all they needed. Permission to do it in America. And once they have permission to do it on their own soil, they take the liberty in doing it on the soils of other nations around the world. And our leaders are so stupid that they still think, they still believe the lies that our country can only develop with aid from the European countries, from the Caucasus countries, from the Edomites. The Edomites has been sending billions and billions of dollars to Africa every year, yet Africa's condition gets worse. The Edomites has been pumping billions and billions of dollars into Africa every year, yet African condition gets worse. They have been giving us aid for years. And the more aid they give to the Caribbean, is the worse our economic condition becomes. Our welfare, our prosperity as nations of the Caribbean depends only on us, not on a handout. But our governments are so greedy. Our ministers are so greedy. They see these things and as an opportunity to enrich themselves. And they take these monies and they enrich themselves. And they become blight. The monies don't last. And all of them still die in poverty. People, the Most High says, He is going to bring a nation with fierce countenance who does not regard the person of the age, or they have respect for the young. That is why in North Carolina, the youngest person to be sterilized was 10 years old. 10 years old with no opportunity to have a family. 10 years old, looking forward to get married, looking forward to have children, and you don't know that you are incapable of making children, not because of something that was natural, not because of illness, but because a wicked group of people decides that you are unfit. You are unfit because of the color of your skin. You are unfit because you are Israelite. You are unfit because you are chosen of God. And it's time that our people come to realize that the Edomites loves no one. The human loves no one, not even themselves. The Caucasians love no one, not even themselves. It is time that our people come to realize that. Stop showing fear and reverence to them. They do not deserve your reverence. They do not deserve your fear. The more you revere and fear them, is the greater their power comes, and is the more aggressive they act, the more demonic they becomes. Because they have your trust, they have your reverence, they have your fear. People, remember this. 1927, the books are still under law. It was not repealed. Buck versus Bell. Buck versus Bell. Buck versus Bell. Give every state in the United States of America the authority to forcefully sterilize members of their community who they deem unfit, and they could do this without their knowledge. They can do this without their consent. And once they got the permission to carry out these atrocities on American soil, they take liberty and they take it to every soil in the world. People, why are the Caucasians, why are the Edomites are so hell-bent in forcing the governments of underdeveloped countries to make the vaccine mandatory for their citizens? Why is it so important for them to make it mandatory that black citizens across the world are sterilized, are vaccinated? The Prime Minister of Iran said he is not giving his citizens the vaccine. Why? Because he found it strange that the vaccination are in short demand, yet the Edomites have seen it fit to make available to the government of Iran enough vaccination to inoculate the whole community. The president of Iran also says that according to their investigation, the United States government is responsible for the COVID-19. That is what the Prime Minister of Iran says. And he finds it strange that vaccination is in short supply in America, but they are willing to take of their short supply and give the Iranians enough vaccine to inoculate their whole community. That is why they see it fit to tell the black community that the COVID-19 virus had hit the black community the hardest, to scare them into taking the vaccine. But here we see, for almost 4 decades, they have been involuntarily sterilizing black people in the United States. Thousands of black men and women were unable to have children because their states make them sterile without their knowledge. It was not enough that they imposed abortion on the black community. It was not enough that they were killing our black babies wholesale before they emit the womb. It was not enough. They had to take it a step further and sterilize the black community, a large percentage of the black community, so that they can't have children. They want to make the Most High a liar, but the Most High words must come to pass. People, you won't believe all of these information I came about on accident, not accident, by providence. It was the Most High will that I find this information. So I had to change my entire message for today. People, eugenics is real. Eugenics is real. They have decided that the black community is not fit. And they have decided that only the Edomites should populate the world. But this is our Father's world. This is our Father's world. I have more right than them here because they are not from this place. They are not from this place. That is why the Most High said in His words, Malachi chapter 1, 2 to 4. I said I love you. And He said, where have you loved this? Isn't Esau Jacob's brother. Yet Jacob I love and Esau I hate. I will call Edom the border of wickedness, and I will hate the Edomites forever as a people. If the Most High have declared his hatred, if the perfect God have declared a perfect hatred for a particular group of people, and you want to love them, take the vaccine. Take the vaccine. If the Most High has says he hates this nation of people, and his hate will exist with them forever, and you want to love them, go ahead and love them, but you will pay the consequence for the love that you show to the Edomites. You will pay the consequence to the love that you show to the human. You will pay the consequence for the love that you show to the Caucasians. Anything the Most High hates, I hate. I ain't going to rationalize it. I ain't going to try to be sophisticated. I am as stupid as they come. Once the Most High say he hates, I hate also. People, Deuteronomy 28:50. I'm going to bring a nation against you of fierce continence. Fierce continence. Who does not regard the person of the old or show favor to the young. It does not matter how old you are, they are going to treat you with the same hatred that they will treat the young. There are people, you don't understand what I'm saying. You do not understand where I'm coming from. All of these messages are going to be gone in a while. They are going to dismantle this YouTube channel and all of my and my Facebook channel, like how they dismantle my main page. They are going to dismantle them, and you won't have access to these messages. You won't have access to me bringing you these truths. People, I advise that you download some of these messages, because you won't have access to them again. Remember, in 1956, Planned Parenthood went to Puerto Rico to test out some pills. All they do, they tell the Puerto Rican. They didn't tell the Puerto Rican they were involved in a laboratory test. They didn't compensate the Puerto Rican for the participation in the test, as they ought to do. They went to Puerto Rico. They gave the Puerto Rico these contraceptive and say it prevents pregnancy. That's all. They didn't tell them it's a child pill. Just give them and say it prevent pregnancy. And the Puerto Rican think that Planned Parenthood was looking out for their interests. Took these pills, not knowing that they were guinea pigs, testing out these pills. They didn't tell you the result. They didn't tell you the adverse effects. All they say, it is now on the market. They refine it, they retune it, and now it's on the market. The Edomites, the human, the Caucasians has a history of going into countries like they did in Africa and experiment with people unaware that they are taking part in a test trial for which they should be compensated. They have a history of doing that. We have the Tuskegee experiment. They wanted to see how the syphilis virus affects the human at all stage of contraction. They went to the south. They inject black sharecroppers, and they left them and let it deteriorate from syphilis to death. Some of them went crazy, and they give them placebo, fake medication, and they watch these people waste away and die. They went to South America, they did the same thing. They went to Africa and they carried all of these trials. And when the African use the district court, which is set up to give redress to countries outside of America, tell them that they are at the wrong venue. The event happened in their country, they should sue in their country. Because they didn't want to give them the price tag that would be associated with the American court. People, they hate justice, they hate you, they are oppressive and they are wicked. So if you're going to love the Caucasians, if you are going to love the Edomites, if you are going to love the human and the Most High say he hates them, you will get what's coming to you. People, remember this. Buck versus Bell. Buck versus Bell. Buck versus Bell. Give every state in the United States of America the right to determine you unfit because of your color, because of the color of your skin, because you are an Israelite. And they have the right to make you sterile, to take away your ability, your reproductive ability, without your knowledge, without your consent. The youngest male that was made sterile in North Carolina was 10 years old. The oldest person was 55. People, these are facts. The Most High brought them to my attention when I was researching this thing. So you can go ahead. Get cozy up in bed with Planned Parenthood. Love those people who the Most High say he hates. But I guarantee you, you are going to pay for it with your life, with your health, and with your salvation. My people, you know I have nothing to gain from bringing this thing to you. When I go to the supermarket in a while, I'm going to have security walking all around me to intimidate me. Why? Because I've spoken to you, my people. I bring the truth to you. When I go to places, I'm going to be watched like a hawk. I'm going to be intimidated. They were going to try to intimidate me. They can't intimidate me. I will intimidate them. People, because I bring the truth to your attention. Y'all don't understand what I go through to get the truth to you. You don't understand what I go through just to tell you the truth. To tell you the truth from the scriptures. To tell you this truth as it relates to politics and civils and the Grenadines. To tell you the truth about the Caucasians, the Edomites, the humans, the people who the Most I say he will hate forever. You don't understand what I go through. But I go through it with pride, knowing that I will make a difference in even one life. Oh, great supreme and sovereign Most High, I thank you for this opportunity to speak to your people again. Most High, if anything that I says here was confusing, please let your Holy Spirit invade their minds and take away the confusion. And Most High, lend clarity to them. It is important that your people hear what I have to say. It is important that your people understand what I have to say. Because Most High, I am not doing my own will, I'm doing your will. It is providence that these information come into my lap at this time. It is providence that I have the courage to go and present this information, even expecting the backlash from the Edomites. But Most High, who you bless, no man can cause, and if you are for me, who can be against me? Most High, go before me into this day. Go before your people into this day. Give them the sense of mind to make rational decisions. In Yahushua's name, I say, let your will be done. People, don't forget, you are chosen of the Most High. You are the Israelites of the Bible. The sons and daughter. You are the sons and daughter of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When you go out there today, for the rest of the week, make sure everything that you do represents the Most High. Make sure that you are good ambassadors for the Creator, the one who chose you to be his chosen people. Don't take any crap from no one, because if they can put mess in your face, they are insulting the great and supreme creator of heaven and earth. This is the man age, reminding us that we must pray.
Yes, this reality really don't have to be if we pray for help from the Father.
Until next time, if you're going to protest, go out there and protest like a real Garafuna, like a real Kalinago, like a real Israelite. Put your best foot forward. Be afraid of nothing and no one. Be willing to die for your country. Because all we have to save our country is you, my people. I'm out.